Dog Vlog.
Go ahead, man.
Hey guys, Vaughn here. You already know that. This is my boy, Marlon, one of the few, the proud, the brave who knew me in high school. He knew how awesome I was then, and of course am now, as I say this to the 5 people watching. We just saw X-Men Apocalypse, and because this is the internet, we have to tell you what we thought about it. So quickly, we're going to give general feelings about the movie, and then delve into the spoilers. So, starting out, Marlon, what did you think of it?
That movie was dope as hell. I mean, it was pretty tight. But my only problem was that Apocalypse was too short. You know, I grew up on the '90s cartoon, so I wanted to be like, I guess in my heart, I wanted to be exactly like the '90s cartoon. But I understand you can't.
A lot of people our age probably get most of their X-Men info from the '90s cartoon. Me, I thought that. I have not seen Days of Future Past. I know I've seen all the other X-Men except that one. Everybody goes gaga over that entry. I haven't seen it, but this was, I think, my favorite. I thought the best X-Men movie I've seen. You know, maybe I'm missing the Citizen Kane of the X-Men movies there, but I enjoyed this movie more than I anticipated. So how about we go ahead and get into the movie scene by scene here. So we start out. It's ancient Egypt, and we're introduced to Apocalypse. He has this 4 horsemen guarding him during his transformation scene. He's like transferring his body to another person, gaining new mutant abilities. And there's a coup. The Egyptians like slam down the pyramid he's in. Very easily broken pyramid.
Yeah.
Not really sure that's how those usually work, but
yeah.
They protect him, but he's entombed. And then at that point we have. Flash forward to 1983, we have Scott Summers getting his powers, right? And, you know, he's got his little puberty moment, how he's in high school.
Yeah.
And Marlon's over here watching the cops come towards us. So this could get very, very interesting right here. Or not. No, they're going away. They see that I'm white.
Oh,
or that
point.
I'm famous.
That's a good point.
You know?
Like, hey, you're white. Hey, yeah.
So,
I was like to get nervous.
No, the cops are actually getting in their car to go home. This is quite miraculous. A black person has never seen this happen before. Man. A black guy has never seen the cops leave.
Yeah.
So in the movie we've got Summers gets his powers, right, and then he has to go to the X-Men Professor X's school for the gifted youngsters.
Yeah.
And his brother Havoc comes with him. Now I don't recall the same actor playing Havoc before. Like it's been a while since I've seen that.
Oh,
but
so yeah.
That guy, he's the new MacGyver on CBS, isn't he?
I have no idea, but I know
we have no idea together.
No, but so Havoc is the original actor, I think, from First Class.
Okay.
First Class, and then of course Havoc, if I can remember right, he wasn't in Days of Future Past. Yeah, he wasn't in Days of Future Past. Havoc was only in the First Class, and you've seen First Class, right?
Yeah, but I didn't recall the actor so much. Okay. So we also have a fight scene. I think it's England. We've got circus freak. Nightcrawler, I guess they said he was with the circus, getting put into a fight against Angel in a cage match, electrocution cage match.
Yep.
But it's very weird because the Blob's there and you see he's lacerated. He was like the last guy to get beat up by Angel. And it's like, okay, why's he got cuts on him? Like, this is one of the, like, continuing issues with, God, I should know the name of the director.
Oh, Bryan Singer.
Yeah, Good thing I had Marlon with me. Bryan Singer,
Bryan
God.
Singer, yeah.
One of his continuing issues is getting like the powers wrong. So Blob's skin can't be broken. That is his power.
Shit. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Broken by goddamn feathers.
That's pretty big. I just know that, you know, yeah, usually
unbreakable skin versus feathers.
In the 90s, did Wolverine ever try to cut Blob?
He didn't really cut into anybody in the cartoons. But anyways, so Nightcrawler gets mixed up here, but he's rescued by Mystique, who's supposed to be his mom. Did we ever really cover how that could have happened in these movies? I don't know. Wait,
Mystique, whose mom?
Mystique is Nightcrawler's mom.
Oh, okay.
The more you know. Do. It's a little NBC PSA.
That's deep.
So,
I know Rogue. Hold on. I know Rogue. Mystique is Rogue's mom in the cartoon.
What the hell?
Mystique is Rogue's mom in the cartoon. So anyway.
Anyways,
I know that part.
Maura McTaggart, Rose Byrne is doing CIA shit, uncovering this the tomb, and then like all girls do, causes trouble and unearths Apocalypse. So now that he's out,
wait, she didn't do it. It was the
she
cult.
led to it. The cult. Well, how does the cult even know the chant to do that? How did that get passed down for generations? So, it's a few story holes here. So then we have a situation where Apocalypse is up and he meets Storm, and Storm has little wind abilities, knocks a few things over, pickpockets, steals from vendors. It's like, that's...
Well, here's one important thing he did capture. So Storm's original voice and stuff like that was supposed to be, I believe, Jamaican. I think it's Jamaican.
She's from Africa.
Okay, well...
she's not Halle Berry.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
But they had captured her accent. That's what I guess my point. I'm not sure if it was Jamaican or African, but in the original comic or the original, and especially in the original '90s cartoon, she had an accent. So at least they captured that, and that was one thing I've seen from another review. Another review, they said that they captured that, so that was a plus. But yeah, I mean there was some discrepancies, but
So he befriends her, and it's kind of like E.T. and Terminator 2. Like, hey, come to my house, learn how things work with the TV. You can't just go around killing people. Like that. Remember the talk in Terminator 2? And he's like, yeah, I can. And then it's like, okay, no more E.T. or Terminator 2 with my little pet Apocalypse. I felt that, the
Pet
actor,
Apocalypse.
God, I forgot his name. The older dude who hangs out with the kids.
Hey, hold on. It was almost like they made Apocalypse like retarded for like 3 minutes.
His portrayal of Apocalypse leaves much to be desired. He's not the strongest actor, to tell you the truth. Apocalypse, to me, he should have been 7 feet tall.
Yeah. Or
taller. Because he's walking up to people like Magneto saying, hey, I'm gathering my 4 horsemen. You're a little taller than me. Can you help me out? And it's like, who the hell are you? Only he didn't say it quite like that.
Yeah.
But I think he should have looked more like a Decepticon. Like he should have had a blocky kind of Gen 1 Transformers build to him. CGI face. If he's all CGI, I think he would have been more imposing.
CGI?
I don't usually say CGI is the answer. But he would have been more imposing.
Okay, you just killed the review for me.
Yeah, I mean,
CGI is the devil.
Everybody hates that. I know, but
just even like beyond recording.
I'm saying
this
look,
CGI is bullshit.
In makeup, he looked like ass. He looked like a clown. They said that. So he's gathering his people. He gets Storm, and then he goes to Psylocke. Who Olivia Munn's looking really damn hot. I can see why.
Olivia Munn is off the chain.
I can see why she's Aaron Rodgers.
Is she mixed like with?
Oh yeah,
Oriental.
She's half Asian and like white and all this other stuff.
Okay.
She's actually born in Oklahoma. Was an army brat. All this stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Now she's dating Aaron Rodgers because he actually has like a gay side dude, and there's complicated.
Wait, I know the name Aaron Rodgers, but what's he from?
Come on, Green Bay Packers quarterback.
Oh, okay, that's right.
If you really like this, I'm going to have Marlon for more of these. So, yeah. So she's looking hot. She, trained with the sword, all this shit for the movie. Didn't see a whole lot of sword shit from her.
Not really.
It was like, what the hell?
A couple of cuts.
So I don't know why you even picked her up, but come on, Storm
Magneto,
that's easy.
I'd have picked her up because she was hot.
He goes to Angel, gives him metallic feathers. Like, if you have to fly with wings, you're a shitty X-Men, right? There's X-Men who fly without wings.
Hey, but there were weapons too. They shot things out. But you messed me up for the interview. The CGI is bullshit. I'm a fan. Hold on, I'm a fan of like the '80s movies where they used like they built
me
everything.
Too. The '80s movies are better. But I'm telling you, for a larger than life character here,
he was.
Would CGI have been worse than the makeup they gave him? Because he looks just like a. He looks like a villain from Power Rangers, is what he looks like. And so he goes and says, hey, I'm going to give you guys better powers, which he does, but he mostly gives them a costume. And at first it's like, how did everybody get these cool threads? Then you see him like making stuff for Angel. They're just all sitting around in a circle, and he's like, here, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you this tattoo. You better not disagree with me.
I don't want to curse too much, but CGI would have pissed me the hell off. Like if they would have put some CGI shit on Apocalypse. So Bryan Singer, I mean, he dropped the ball. I mean, I think I didn't really like X2 that much because he directed X2. I wasn't too crazy about
X2 was okay. I kind of like the first one better.
So X2, you like, okay.
X-Men 3 is the worst. And they make a joke about that. Some of the kids go out from the school, they go to see
Yes.
Return of the Jedi, it's 1983, and like, yeah, can we just agree that the third one's always the worst? And it's like, do-do-do,
Yep.
boom.
Yeah, everybody
And that was
got
the
it.
little burn on, because Singer didn't do that one. It was that hack who does the Rush Hour movies. Forgot his name.
Oh,
No, not that it's important. So anyways,
Yeah.
the house is coming down, there's an explosion, what's his name? Alex, Havoc. So
Yep.
Apocalypse comes there to abduct Professor X, and he's like just used Cerebro, and he's going to like send all the nukes up.
Mm-hmm.
Which, why are they protesting that? Like, he just got rid of all the nukes, and they acted like that was a huge problem. I don't see how that was that much of a problem. But then he goes there, abducts Professor X after the, nuclear disarmament,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's an explosion caused by Havoc. Quicksilver shows up, and he's looking for Professor X, but saves everybody. Cue 80s music. Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams comes in. And this was the highlight of the movie for the audience here. And they were cutting out over at the Warren Theater. They were being cheap on the AC, so it was hot as hell. The audience wasn't enjoying themselves so much. I think that's why we didn't get a lot of clapping, a lot of applause.
Is that why the audience was kind of
That's usually the way that goes,
okay.
yeah.
Brett Ratner, you're
Brett
right.
Ratner,
He
yeah.
did direct Rush
He's
Hour.
a prick, so...
Yeah, Brett Ratner.
Yeah. So Quicksilver saves everybody, and this is like the comical moment of the film.
Mm-hmm.
There's also parts where people kind of laughed at Nightcrawler. I kind of felt like it wasn't entirely earned. Nightcrawler had a weird emo haircut, a semi-thriller jacket, didn't quite have the shoulders. Although if you look at his costume, he should have those kind of pointy shoulders. And he should have had more badass hair, too, with a little bit of a Jerry curl kind of thing going.
And did you notice, like, okay, so in the movie, they kind of inserted, like, humorous moments, like, Nightcrawler was one when he was counting his fingers. He only has like 3
Cutting
fingers.
down the tree, they bring Scott Summers in. He's testing out his powers, and he bumps into the redhead chick kid from Game of Thrones. Everybody had to go. We're watching this Sunday night, so everybody's heading home to watch that on HBO. But
she's from Game of
yeah, she's from Game of Thrones.
Jean is from Game of Thrones.
Jean Grey from this. There's a shitload of British people pretending to be English in this. The only one that's actually British, I think he's Irish or Scottish, actually being British in this movie is Professor X. Just about everybody else is English. So he bumps into her and all this stuff, and she's going to be the key to saving this all this for them. So Apocalypse is threatening Earth, and the X-Men, after the house has gotten demolished and stuff, they get captured by Stryker. They go to Alkali Lake. I believe the helicopter flew into this tunnel in a way that helicopters cannot fly. I don't believe the way the propellers work and shit, they can't maintain
You think that was CGI?
altitude. Hell yes. Most helicopters are CGI in film. So as this goes, we have the mutants are kind of split up, and they need some help rescuing each other. Unleash Wolverine. They're like, hey, there's some animal in there. No, it's not an animal. It's somebody, but he's been stripped away, and he's like a weapon. Do-do-do.
Yeah, I knew it was Wolverine.
It would have gotten a good audience reaction if it wasn't, like, beating you over to, guess what? Here comes the Wolverine cameo. So then Wolverine shows up, goes hell berserk on everybody, slices up the whole place, but then he meets Jean as he's Xing, and she tells him his name's Logan, which in one of the origin story comic books about it turns out that's not true. I liked it better growing up. He was Logan, right?
Yeah.
But she, remembers a name from his past, gives him a piece of his past back. You're Logan now. Okay, bye. See ya. He cuts out, and then they find a fancy plane and X-Men X1, the first movie type suits to get into, and they head to the pyramid that Apocalypse has reconstructed, and they have a go at it,
Yeah.
And they're trying to convince Magneto he's destroying the world because he's got metal flying everywhere. Hey, don't do that, I'm Mystique. I'm here. And everybody's looking up to Mystique.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I wanted to point out is, since they got to Egypt, you're talking about they got the new reconstructed pyramid. One thing I did like is that they finally got Magneto, like, in his orb, because even in the 90s,
hell yeah,
the 90s,
so
even in the 90s cartoon, Magneto would have like this magnetic orb, and so he had this protective force field that not even Quicksilver could get through. So that was cool. I mean, I thought that was a pickup from
and he got his
what X-Men was built
he
on.
got his costume from the little bit that was given to him by Apocalypse. Apocalypse also trying to take the powers away from Professor X. loses his hair in the process. That was a creative way to say how he went bald, because he had some pretty awesome locks on his head. Yeah, so the X-Men...
Join the bald team,
The X-Men team up, and they're fighting, the Four Horsemen, and they're getting them to switch sides. Psylocke, not so much. Angel seems to get killed in the process, though he's in X3 or some shit. But anyways, so they have to team up to really tag team and bring down Apocalypse. And I like the way how they split up the fight, like he's fighting in the mind of Professor X.
I didn't even think about that. That's true.
It was kind of like Return of the Jedi. When you had the fight over here, you had a lightsaber battle, you had the battle on Endor.
Saw it, but I didn't even focus in on that, because basically it's showing you how powerful he is. He's able to fight you in his mind.
He's able to fight everybody.
Yeah, he's able to fight everybody. Yeah.
But then they unleash the Phoenix on him, and it's goodbye, bro.
I'm not sure I liked that, man. I just said a word that doesn't even exist. Liked it. But anyway,
it's going on a T-shirt now.
Yeah, liked it. Hey, respect. If you gotta know about that. Anyway, so Birdman. Anyway, so yeah, I like that. That he was all powerful. That was like a, back in the '90s cartoon. It took everybody to fight Apocalypse to like send him away. But
yeah, everybody got their. There's a lot of characters, but they all have their moment to shine in the sun. So they bring him down and disintegrate his ass. Like they straight up.
That wasn't right, man.
Like,
that wasn't right.
Melted. There's some grisly ass shit going on for PG-13 movie here.
I mean, in the comic book, we were born of the comic book era. We're 80s. We're both 80s babies, but I don't remember Phoenix just being like, all powerful like that.
Oh yeah, she had an arc in the comics for sure, and she had like a two-parter in a cartoon. Two-parters in a cartoon was pretty big deal in the 90s.
Yeah. I remember they made like a whole big deal about in the cartoon. I mean,
she's powerful. She just didn't fully know it yet. But he didn't know it either. So like,
but here's where they lost me though in the cartoon. Like they went out like into outer space and all this other shit.
Oh yeah,
happened,
there's all kinds of
shit. And it was just
shit.
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Mojo and whatever the hell.
So this movie, like, X-Men Apocalypse, like. The show that
this tried to be grounded with a lot of fanciful stuff, and I bought into it. Like the suspension of disbelief was there. Mm-hmm. Most of the effects were 80% pretty good. I can spot CGI, but I'm telling you, if Apocalypse was all CGI, it would have been an improvement. My biggest knock against it was the appearance and the performance of Apocalypse.
I think it was. They could have gave him some like platform shoes. Why not?
Hell, they make hobbits small and make giants big in movies and shit. He's big in the brain, in the mind of Professor X when he's fighting him. And he would resize himself throughout the cartoon and shit. So why couldn't they have done that? But you know what? Yeah. Wrapping this up, everybody has their little happy ending there. There's a weird monk's reward, as Roger Ebert would call it, when you see the after credit scene. Guy's cleaning up Alkali Lake, and it says Essex Corp on the briefcase. I was like, what the hell? Like,
what the hell?
They're taking Weapon X shit to somebody. This is 1983, so whatever they do, if it wasn't a big enough deal that we've heard about it in the other X-Men movies, it doesn't add up. It is kind of interesting how they, we had the old X-Men, we have the young X-Men. To have Jennifer Lawrence, the one, like, Mystique. Oh, I idolize you. I'm like, you're Jean Grey. You're looking up to Mystique.
That was kind of weird.
It seems weird to me. J-Law, born in 1990.
Because you missed...
Is the veteran. But she's 6 years older than Sansa Stark, Sophie Turner playing Jean Grey. I'm feeling about 50 years old, and I'm not. So
that is about right. But you did miss X-Men Days of Future Past, to where...
You missed some of the gravitas of the older actors.
But, this movie in comparison to X-Men Days of Future Past, I like this one more. But...
And I haven't seen Days of Future Past, but I think this is my favorite X-Men movie that I've seen. I've seen all of them except Days of Future Past. To give it a 1 out of 4 star rating, Marlon, what do you give the movie?
Oh, 1 out of 4?
1 out of 4.
Oh, okay. I
don't make the rules.
I give this movie... Damn. Because 4 would be a perfect, right? That's like a perfect score.
Yes. 4's for Terminator 2, The Empire Strikes Back, like... Back to the Future, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like the highest. Okay, hurry.
Oh yeah. I give this movie a 4. I do give it a 4, even though there were some discrepancies.
Okay.
There's discrepancies, but I give it a 4 because
I enjoyed it very much. I'm giving it a 3 out of 4 stars, and I grade hard. So there you go. If you like this review, follow, subscribe, all that shit. And if you really like it for Marlon, let me know. You know, maybe we'll set him up in an account over here. Have him back for some more.
I like the hand
All right,
gestures.
Thanks.
Like, comment, share, follow, subscribe. Vaughan Jog Vlog is made possible by your support on Patreon. Patreon.com/Vaughan Fry.